Okay. Let's see. All right, we're getting set up. If you guys just hold on a few seconds, I'm gonna skip the ad. Okay, let's see if we get started. Let's see if we got a sound check here. Okay, let's go and it's a little delayed, so give me a few minutes. If you're watching this second hand, I want to make sure I have a sound check. Give me a second. All right, testing, 1, 2, 3, testing. I'm also going to record this for the podcast. I'm a little early. Okay. Looks like the microphone's not interfering. Okay, welcome back to HBRV Lifestyle. As you guys know, I'm the Honey Badger here, giving to you straight about the RV business as usual. Today's video, today's live stream is also being recorded for the podcast HBRV Lifestyle on Spotify, also the YouTube channel, also the Facebook, Instagram. It's all going to be posted everywhere. This is very, very important that we talk about Jenks Lake. This is one of the things in California especially, and it should be known throughout the entire country that we are having problems with drought. And then on top of that, especially here in California, we're having problems with historical landmarks drying up, and the one I'm mainly focused on is Jenks Lake. Now, if you guys don't know where Jenks Lake is, it's up in the San Bernardino Mountains off of Highway 38. It's a very gorgeous landmark man-made lake. I call it an inlet. Most people call it a flume. That's the actual appropriate verbiage for it, is flume. Is not feeding the lake enough water to where it's almost dried up. If something is not done, it is going to do a lot more damage than good. This is very, very important to not only the animals up there and the nature up there, because remember, this thing has been in fruition, this lake, for over 140 years. So you got to think 140 years, several generations of animals, of nature, have depended on this lake and the provisions of fresh water and food it brings. As bass, as crappie, for years up until this lake has almost gone down to nothing, trout, catfish, and it brings about a lot of birds, bears, mountain lions. It's a very, very important landmark, not only historically, but also it's highly important for the animals up there. The generations of animals that are used to using that as a spot for food and fresh water. The other thing very important about it is that it helps the fire departments fight fires, because it's an access point for water for the helicopters and the fire engines that fight the fires during dry season up in that hillside. And then let's get to the selfish part, my own selfish part of this whole thing. And that is that I've been going there since I was 5 years old, fishing, float tubing, walking, hiking, all those things. And now I just looked on the Facebook page, Friends of Jenks Lake, which if you guys, I'm going to tell you, Bob, who was up there, gives great updates. And he just said that there's no more water running down to the lake. That was an hour ago. I just saw that post. So most people ask, I had good conversation with a lot of the volunteers. There's a lot of volunteers right now trying to get that flume opened up, or if you want to know a little more basic information, it's more like an inlet. Flume, inlet, I consider it the same thing. I'm not very well educated in that stuff, but I can tell you at the end of the day that the lake's not getting enough water. It's being dammed up either by humans or by animals, whatever the case may be. And it's stopping the water flow into the lake, and it's been doing it for a while. I have to believe that there is more to do. So obviously there's a great group of people. I talked to one of them over the phone a few weeks ago. I said I was eventually going to do a podcast, and I'm not going to name names or anything of that nature because, you know, they asked me not to, and I don't blame them. But they're doing such good work. But it's not enough at the end of the day. It's not going to be enough unless we figure out a way to get the National Forest Service to get involved. So on my end, to give you guys a little bit of an update, I've been actually emailing, texting, email, text, and phone calling with different political representatives. And I finally got pointed in the right direction of who to go to, because this person, who I'm going to announce here in a minute, is the segue person to the real person we need to get approvals for to fix this flume, to fix this inlet, to update this 140 plus year old man-made system that has had no update at all since, if I remember right, the early 1900s. Pardon me. So what we need to do is, the gal's name, I believe she's a gal, is Danielle Harrison. Now I'm going to tell you what I was told. Trying to contact this young lady or this lady over by phone is absolutely impossible. But I got an email address. In the description box below, I have an email address for this Miss Harrison. I've put it there. What we need to do is, if you love this lake and you want to help this lake, what you really need is to tell the stories, the pictures, the videos, the stories of your family, your children, all those things. Because the only way that we're going to find the right person is through her. She's the wall. That's what I've been told. I've been told that to get to the right person that we need to talk to, that these volunteers need to talk to, that we as a group need to talk to, is this young lady. She is the bridge to the person that actually can help get this thing going. And the reason why, guys, and I don't think everybody understands this, so I found out the politics of this on my own. Big Bear Lake, Big Bear City, and the owners of Jenks Lake, because it's privately owned, I believe, by a company, they don't seem to get along from what I've heard. Arrowhead Lake wants nothing to do with it. County of San Bernardino wants nothing to do with it. City of Mentone wants nothing to do with it. And when you call the Forest Service tells you it's none of our business, it's actually owned by the lake. But what's interesting is the flume, or the inlet, as I call it, runs through U.S. Forest Service federal land. And this young lady holds the keys. And it's not her fault, guys. I'm not blaming her. She's not the decision maker, but she is the keys to the right person. She's that person. It's just like if you want to talk to Donald Trump, you want to talk to Nancy Pelosi, you want to talk to Joe Biden, you want to talk to Elon Musk, you want to talk to any of these people, you got to get through their people to get to them. Same concept. So email her. I'm going to also make a posting inside the Facebook group, Friends of Jenks Lake. That's the other way we're going to help get this done. Beyond emailing this lady, and not email this lady and get mad at her. I want to make sure that this is understood what the idea is. I'm battling this thing on one front. There's other guys, lots of volunteers, great people that are attacking this on another end, just trying to keep the lake alive. And I thank those guys and gals. And I thank Bob Hollerand a lot for giving us updates on what's going on. He can't get involved. He's an employee. He can't get involved in this. He did a lot by, earlier this year, I did a live stream on Facebook and on YouTube where I brought him on just to get some awareness out there. It was kind of balls to the wall, not sure how we're going to do this, just try to get the information out there because I know that I'm not the only one that loves this lake. My friend Matt Norman, my friend Archie Rodriguez. There's hundreds and thousands of families that have used this lake for anything from kayaking, picnicking, camping, everything and anything you can think of. So that's why we're here live, and the reason why I'm recording this live on YouTube is because tonight's the night to record my podcast. So I figure I'd do it simultaneously. Pardon me. There is going to be a time where if we don't take action, and I'm not talking about go pound on this lady's door and bring the pitchforks and the fire. I'm talking about getting information to this young lady. I don't know her, don't know what she looks like, nothing of that nature. But Miss Harrison or Mrs. Harrison needs the pictures and stories on why this lake needs to be saved. And it has nothing to do with the lake itself. It has to do with the inlet. It has to do with the flume. It has to do with it needs to be updated. And they need help. The volunteers need help. The volunteers need us, the fisherman, the camper, the picnicker, the hiker, the day tripper, the weekend warrior, to send the pictures, to send the photographs, to send the emails out, and the stories. Not yell, not scream, not get all pissed off, but just, hey. And then we can battle until we finally find the right person. Because if she gets, let's say she gets 5,000 or 10,000 emails by Wednesday, July 21st or 22nd, whatever day that is, 20th, whatever. I can tell you that at the end of the day, she's going to be like, what is going on? If we can get a big enough presence on Friends of Jenks Lake, the Facebook group, which I have the link in the YouTube video. If you go to the description box on the YouTube channel or the Spotify podcast, you will see the links to both the Facebook page for this Friends of Jenks Lake, and you'll see the email for Miss or Mrs. Harrison. Don't know her, so I can't really tell you if she's a Miss or Mrs. And that's a start. Because all we need is the opportunity to get to the right person. And I've been told through my sources on the political side of things that she is that bridge to that person. And her email is good enough, guys. We don't need to bombard her with phone calls. They have enough to do as a Forest Service, and they're extremely short-staffed. And their budget's been cut. There's a lot of things going on that side of things. So an email to her, a beautiful storied email with pictures, video, the stories of why you go to the lake, the stories of why this historical landmark needs to be saved. Beautiful stories. That's what it takes. The other thing it takes is building that Facebook page to where we have 30, 40, 50,000 people a part of that group. And when you go up there to go hike or visit the Santa Ana River, or maybe you just want to go and see what the lake looks like, is find out what you can do that day. Even if it's an hour or two of your time, ask the friends of Facebook, the Friends of Jenks Lake, what can I do? I'm going to be up there this day. I can give you an hour or two. What can I do to help you? This is my skill set. I am a mapper. I can map out the flume for you, the inlet. I can map it out. I can give you a geography of it. I'm a geologist. I can figure out all that stuff. Those kind of things are going to help more than they're going to hinder. That's the beautiful part of this whole process. It's a beautiful thing when we do something good that doesn't involve pitchforks and fire, if you get my drift. When we come together as a group of people in California to save a historical landmark, it makes us all feel good. Because it's going to help, not only will it help the fire departments, which is the way I went for a while. For a while I was trying to dig in with CAL FIRE and the federal government, and I was trying anything here, but just trying to get somebody in front of my YouTube videos, my Facebook postings. I was trying anything and everything I could get to get this thing going. And it was falling on deaf ears. And then I talked to a gentleman over the phone. Again, I'm not going to mention his name. That's unfair. But the hour-long conversation with him gave me a new direction to go. And this is the direction. Like, him and I were had the same thought. He's going from one area, I'm going from another. And hopefully we come together in the middle and we help save this thing. Because I love, guys, at the end of the day, I do the whole fire pitch. I did the whole fire pitch. Falls on deaf ears. The historical landmark got more reaction. The conservation part of Jenks Lake, I had a great conversation with a young lady at a political office. She's attached to a senator. And we had a great conversation because she's a very liberal gal. She's very far left, liberal wise as far as her politics, you can tell. But the common conversation was 140 plus years of that lake being around. How many generations of animals are used to you getting what they need out of that lake for food, water, resting place? They know that lake already. It's been generations of animals, bears, mountain lions, hawks, ducks, birds, squirrels, chipmunks, whatever. What's going to happen when that lake dries up? When that flume dries up? Because it's not doing what it's supposed to do. That inlet's not doing what it's supposed to do. What's going to happen? And that got people's attention more than yelling about fires, because in California, everybody's used to fires. So that's where you come in. Whether you found me on Facebook through all the fishing groups, whether you found me here on YouTube or on the podcast here that you're listening to, whether you're just randomly ran across Jenks Lake and you drove up there and what the heck just happened? You can do so much by just sending that email to this young lady. Give her an email, give her a story about why Jenks Lake is important to you. And when you have enough people doing that, we might find the right person we need to talk to. She'll connect the bridge to the right person that's going to be able to tell us what can be done, permit what needs to be done, and get the ball rolling. Now, it ain't going to be easy, guys. It's going to take a lot of time. There's already volunteers up there doing the best they can to clear out and get that flume running good, unblocking it, getting all the debris out of the way. A lot of people working really hard that I'm going to keep anonymous. We'll call them anonymous heroes for this lake, this historical landmark. And if they can get a little help from the folks can tell them what they can and can't do, then the next battle is money. And money's easy. Once you have a plan, once you have the permission, once you know what you can and can't do, on federal lands, especially U.S. Forest Service lands, it's on. It's game on. We can raise the money. You can get the Elon Musks of the world to throw 150, 200 grand as long as they can attach their ego to it. And the problem is a lot of people, I see comments on Facebook that, well, Jenks Lake is responsible for that. No, they're not. The company that owns Jenks Lake has nothing to do with the flume or inlet at all. They have nothing to do with Frog Creek. They have just the lake. That's what they're responsible for. They cannot control the water flow going into the lake. They can't control that. They have no decision-making power. They have no ability to update it. They have no permission to update it. This is a battle that isn't really a battle that's won with harsh words or screaming or protesting. This is one of those battles that we're going to win with kindness, love, compassion, and show people the world, because this is a small little thing. Everybody talks to me about, we got to make big changes. You got to start the little changes first. And the only way to start the little changes is get this done. We get this done, then things like the Lake Sabrina project, that's my next one. I'm going to go visit them July 23rd. Go do some float tubing and some fishing on Sabrina. They're running into issues too, guys. Not enough snowpack. South Lake for a while looked like a mud puddle in Bishop. But we have to start somewhere. Especially if we want these landmarks and this history to go on to our next generations. I want to be able to pass this lake and these experiences to my grandchildren. And we can't do that without your help. You can't do that without your help. We don't need any more money right now. There's no fundraiser that needs to be done right now. All I need from you, the listeners, you, the watchers of my channel, you, the fans of my TikTok and my Instagram, I need you to spread the word about this lake. Get this Facebook page, Friends of Jenks Lake, built up. Get this young lady the emails. Yeah, send me an email. Send me sexy Kelly B. Send me an email. LivingstonRVServices@gmail.com. I can get you the answer to your question. Just go down in the description box below of any of my videos, and you will see my email, my Gmail link to my company's Gmail account. Just send me an email with any of your questions. Because this live stream is more about I apologize, the live stream and the podcast that I'm doing on this unfortunately have to do with, and you're very much welcome, it just has to do with this historical landmark. But yes, I will answer your question. Believe me, I will. I want to thank you guys in advance. I want to thank the followers. I want to thank everyone that has been a part of this. And if you're part of Friends of Jenks Lake on Facebook and you're joining us, spread the word more. Bob and Stephanie, big shout out to both of you for keeping us updated. It seems like every single day Bob's taking video or Stephanie's taking video of that flume or updating everybody on the page on what's going on. And it's a beautiful thing when you have that kind of passion for something like this. And they are amazing people. I've met Bob. I haven't met Stephanie, I don't think. But I met Bob, and Bob's met my kids and my wife and my friends I brought up there, and we're very passionate about this. And we just definitely need to do this. So to recap the whole thing, when I went and tried to get into the political atmosphere of this, I finally got a hold of a few people that seemed to direct me in the direction of a young lady. I believe she's a young lady. Please don't kill me if she's not. Danielle Harrison. That she is, because she's kind of in charge of the area, that to get to her bosses, you got to get through her. Just kind of like Elon Musk. You want to get to Elon Musk, you want to get to Donald Trump, you got to go through their people. You got to go through the channels. So I found this young lady's email address by just looking through the directory of the United States Forest Service. Whoops, sorry. That's technical difficulty. The U.S. Forest Service, and what I did was I linked her email in the description box below of both the podcast, the Instagram, the Facebook, and YouTube channels. And my plan is, and what I'm going to do is, because I have tons of pictures and video of me and my family and my friends all going to Jenks Lake, and I'm typing out stories to her. The stories of why this lake needs to be saved and what is the problem. Because I think a lot of times, because they're so short-staffed, that things get put on the back burner. And I think as long as we keep this alive, because I've been told by another source that's actually a volunteer for this Friends of Jenks Lake kind of project, just trying to keep the water flowing, trying not to keep it from drying up, he told me that according to his sources that there's a budget or something supposed to come up in the next year or two on this. But I know how that goes, guys, because budgets with the federal government, the U.S. Forest Service, they're already under budget. They are been cut so bad, and in all reality, they're really short-staffed. So that's why, like, getting a hold of this person over the phone will be virtually impossible and a waste of time. I think if we bombard her with beautiful emails and stories and photos and videos, that's going to get more attention than trying to make a phone call and yell and scream at her or come at the offices with picket signs and fire. Kill with kindness, but we're not really killing. We're more or less going to give them the reasons why this needs to make sure it gets fixed. Or at the end of the day, maybe somebody will come out and say, hey, we already have a plan for it. That's what I'm really hoping. I'm really hoping that's my hope at the end of the day, is that someone comes out and says, well, you guys don't need to do that. We already have a plan in place to update that flume, that inlet into the lake. We already have the money set aside. We just haven't gotten to it yet. This is when we're planning on starting the project. But see, the reason why nobody comes out and says any of that unless you push your hand is because that means they get held accountable. Let's remember that. It's the same thing at a job, right? When you go to a job that you're just starting or you're doing, and you go, hey, don't tell anybody, but I'm going to do this. I just don't know when. And nobody says anything. Voila, guess what happens? You're not held accountable. And you could do it on your own time. So that's all I really had for today. I really appreciate you guys watching. Please share this with all the folks all the people that you may have on social media. Share this information. Make sure you join the Facebook page called Friends of Jenks Lake. Whether you're listening to this on Spotify, whether you're on my YouTube channel, HBRV Lifestyle, which is the same thing as my Spotify podcast, whether you found me on Facebook, whether you found me on Instagram, wherever you found me at, I put links to that Facebook group in the description boxes, and I'll try to put them in the comments as well. Join that group. That shows a lot of support as well. So those combination things are really, really going to help, and I would really appreciate if you guys join in on it. It's free to do all this stuff. I'm not asking for money. We're not asking for any of that stuff. We're just asking for support at this time. So thank you so much. Spread the word. And then I'll give you guys an update as soon as I get up there. Hopefully I can get up there the end of next month, which is August. I'm hoping I can get up there and take some pictures and video and do another update for you guys. So again, the email and the Facebook group are in the description box below. You guys have a great night. If you had any questions about financing and stuff like that, my email address is also in the description box below. Have a great night. Thank you so much.